This week is for us health. We're understanding everything about health and energy and performance. We understand the performance tomorrow. I wanted to talk some more about the health, and one of that is aging. Aging. Who does not want to look young? Who does not want to look young? Just the way we all want health, just the way we all want to be looking young. Rather, it's not in deep, we don't work for it. Of course, there are many are working for it. But in most cases, it just feels great. It feels great to be looking young and not to be young, not only looking, but to be young. And meditation is equal to anti-aging automatically, without investing on those creams, without investing on those age-defying treatments. Apparently, there's treatments where many people, including in the movie industry, go for it. They pay each time they pay some, like I don't know, $10,000 or something like that. I read somewhere, just to get some anti-aging treatments. Nothing wrong from anything, but this meditation is anti-aging in two ways. One is making us look younger, and then two is making us go longer, younger and longer. Said Harvard scientists have discovered that there is a protein. You know, genes express proteins, and the proteins build cells of any organ. And then basically protein is a structure, basic structure on which this body continues to survive and grow. So genes express protein, and then protein makes an organ, right? And are basically cells for that organ at a broad level. Of course, including other things that also protect organs like immunity cells and all that. But so genes, so they have found out a protein which is cause for a lot of inflammation and anti-aging. That protein, if it is expresses, then it is causing inflammation and also aging. And so this Harvard scientist wanted to get a cream or something developed. It's a different story. He was completely shut off from using it because there is so many external creams that keep coming. $160 billion plus of this aging market, which will collapse if we actually develop that thing, which is making people look younger. So he's not allowed to pursue that thing, which happens all the time, right? Something good is coming, there's always a lot of resistance. But there is this protein, which if you control, then aging is holding off because inflammation is said to be one of the core reasons of aging. So meditation is found to be naturally regulating the expression of that protein. Later, subsequently, in researchers, then they found that meditation, this is about now 6-7 years old study, about 2013 or so. Meditation is found to regulate the expression of that protein, number one. And number two, that stress levels, ultimately everything comes back to linking up to stress. The stress levels is cortisol, which is causing of many things. Of course, it is, remember we said, less blood into other areas and then more towards blood circulation, legs and hands. So everything else is fed less resources in the body. And then skin, being the largest organ, is also one such thing as a victim of this whole stress. Because of the stress, skin is also getting less and less supply of resources. Continuous stress, so less supply to the skin also. And in addition, this cortisol supposedly pumps up the blood sugar levels. One of the core reasons why diabetes comes down. Stress and this are linked up. And then the more sugars, then it also is now impacting the skin to specific areas, keeping the skin elastic, elastin and collagen. Elastic, these two skin cells that are, these two chemicals that have to be working properly for the skin to look young all the time, they get impacted. And they have more, basically cortisol being there with these chemicals or stress chemicals, as well as that high sugar level. There is some chemical process for it, and why a sugar level can potentially have an impact into the skin, these elastin and collagen. And needless to say, these two, but normally there'll be some creams also available to make that skin elastic, wrinkle free, not sagging and then elastic. Elastic is it can bring it back to the, when somebody does anything, it brings back to the normal state. So whereas meditation is reducing the cortisol, and then naturally there is more circulation, so that cells all age, right? When they age, then you need to replenish with the new cells. And so one, that opportunity is missing because the system is not working. So new cells are not getting produced adequately. So there is that problem. And on top of it, with cortisol being there, there's elastin, collagen, these two chemicals, and as a result, also the skin starts looking saggy, aged, wrinkled. Now, meditation removes cortisol, removes stress. So naturally, we have this greater ability to bring back. That's why many first thing that you see many meditators, skin is glowing. Skin becomes, because it's perfectly working, right? Skin starts glowing, which is also there, of course, through exercise. Some of those also are helping in this. But most certainly, meditation and then stress reduction. And the last thing, the longer, I mean, there are many reasons, but the last thing, the significant one, the longer one, is how do you, one is keeping us younger, right? So anti-inflammation, that protein getting regulated, and then removing stress, so skin looks younger, and then more skin cell production, so automatically you're replenishing, so it doesn't feel like wrinkle because you're losing out. And then there is this longevity. Longevity is where this, they found out the end of these chromosomes, every gene end, that is called telomerase. It's a sequence that has to repeat itself for every DNA as replicating that cell DNA as it's replicating, it dies off eventually. Every time it replicates, after a few replications, it dies off. But there is tons of DNA in the body, tons of cells in the body, and so cells. So it keeps adding up. But then, however, every cell when it's replicating, there is this end of each of those chromosomes, the DNAs, which needs to, if it can stay for longer, then the cell can reproduce it for long enough as full cycle. It's called telomerase. They found out that this telomerase grows in meditators. Normally, it keeps shrinking off. When it takes off, then it does not let the cell to reproduce. So they found that the telomerase is growing in long-term meditators. So when telomerase is growing, that means you're giving the ability in the body to reproduce more. You're giving the body for the cells to replicate more. So this is another study of how people stay longer. And then, of course, I'm only talked about right now physical, right? Just mental, the mind, when you don't have the stress, when you don't have the worries, the mind over matter is there because everything is energy that's going in and then giving. And next week, we'll understand how our thought process can impact. It's called how its thought process upregulating, down-regulating the genes, not only through chemically, physically, physiology or biology, but also this mind, which is that energy going in. Now we'll understand the electromagnetic energy going in and then field and manipulating the field so that then cells actually take a better signal, right? Rather than a weaker signal of a stress and then fear and all of that versus more elated feelings. Because of that, of course, then there is a lot of upregulation of many things happening. And as a result, we feel pretty strong. Tomorrow we'll understand meditation improving the memory powers. And so one of the reasons why we feel aging is that it's all cycle. Our memory we start losing, and as memory is losing, we lose, and then as skin cell, everything adds up. Skin is wrinkled, memory we're losing, so then automatically we feel like we're aging because we can't do many things that we were doing when we were young. Now, meditation is supporting that also. The memory power is, at least memory loss is arresting memory losses for many people, and it increases beautifully. So, various reasons, meditation becomes an anti-aging tool, natural anti-aging tool. We can save all the money on the creams and this and that. Many people, of course, many women naturally are going away from artificial elements to using meditation as a great agent for beauty. So let's go into this beautiful meditation. Those of you who are new, we are doing Anapanasati, our breath mindful. Our goal is to empty the mind, thousands of thoughts in the mind. We want to empty the mind. For that, what we do is we observe natural breath. When we observe natural in breath and out breath, our mind slowly becomes empty. Deep inside, according to quantum physics, we're all energy. According to various religions, deep inside, we're all everything is energy out there, everything is there. So deep inside, we are energy and emptiness and energy. When we empty our thought, then we're experiencing this greater emptiness and that energy in meditation. So we typically experience it in many ways. So the idea of meditation is to observe your normal natural breath. Process is to observe the breath. Goal is to empty the mind. It happens automatically when you observe the breath. And as your mind is empty, we experience a greater emptiness, which is full of energy. And so you may experience something. Be a witness to everything you experience when you are in this meditation. Do not interpret, do not analyze, just to be a witness. And before going, and the process for this meditation, the process is the posture is with our eyes closed, specs removed, fingers into fingers, rest your hands comfortably in your lap, cross your feet. Cross your feet at ankles, fingers into fingers, resting hands comfortably, eyes closed, remove the specs, and observe breath going in and coming out. Take any point on the nose, middle, root, and observe the breath is going in and coming out. And before we're going into this meditation, which is called breath mindfulness meditation, we're doing something called heart elevation process. So keep your hands at your chest area like that. Eyes continue to be closed, feet crossed, and then just follow my guidance. You want to fill up your heart with an heightened emotion of love, gratitude, and compassion. That's the crux of this process for about 5 minutes. Recall an event from your life where you felt enormous amount of love, enormous amount of appreciation, joy, and then just live it. Recollect it, live it, and then you can feel that emotion. Idea is to empty the mind quicker. This helps, right? With your eyes closed, relax yourself, dear friends.